What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red Room Podcast. Today, I'm with my homie from Texas and a good Halo buddy from way back in the day. There we go. We're going into it deep. Cole Salazar, how you doing, dude?
Dude, I'm good, man. It's been a wild ride since we've talked.
I know.
Right? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But it's good to now meet you out here rather than you coming to Texas.
Yeah. Well, first of all, congrats again on the wedding.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. It means a lot.
Yeah. How'd you two meet?
The good old Hinge.
Here we go. I'm still on mine.
Dude, your sister beat you to it.
I know. She found him, and they're getting married here pretty shortly, and should be fun heading out.
I'm surprised she beat you to it.
I know.
I thought you would have already been married and had kids.
I know. I'm the last one. All my friends are like in relationships and everything like that.
Derek even beat you to it.
I know. Everybody. I'm lone wolfing. You know what I mean?
It's all right.
That's all good.
You'll get there.
No rush. But yeah, how's life? So you're out here for work.
Yep.
Tell the world what you do for work.
So I recently got a new job. So this is like a month and a week.
Yeah.
Right. So I work as an inside sales engineer at a company called Rubrik.
Ooh.
So we solve customers' cyber resiliency problem. Okay. Right. So we're a backup solution. So our job is to help customers back up their important data and data at their company. So like you guys, right?
Yeah.
We would work with y'all to back up all of your data that you guys have for the company and then secure it safely. And then we would help kind of look at different cybersecurity threats and protect against the cybersecurity landscape, right? Because obviously ransomware is huge nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's currently what I'm doing. My job is really to be a resource for account executives, right? So I cover right now 1, but it should be 3 to 1. So I help them hop on customer calls, talk to the customer about what Rubrik is, what Rubrik does, show them demos of it. And that's currently the job now, man.
So are you having to go into the office, or are you like working from home doing or kind of like a hybrid?
Supposed to be, right? The CEO Bipple mandated that he wants people to be in the office for 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter when. But my boss, so I cover West and like North Central. So I cover like the Pac Northwest, California. And my boss lives in Seattle, so he's not even in Austin. So my team only has 3 people that are in Austin. The other 4, I think, 3 or 4 are spread out across the US. So he's like, you just go in like once a week or once every other week, whatever you choose.
Whatever you choose.
Just don't tell anybody. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I work from home, but it makes it easier, right? We live like about an hour outside of the office. So it takes me about an hour to get
Where are you now?
We're in Thrall.
So how far is that from where you were with when you were with Derek in Round Rocks?
It's about 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
North, south, east, west?
East, I think. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I go east to go out there. We live on 3.9 acres.
Oh, cool.
So my wife and I got pretty lucky. We used to live with her mom for a little bit, and then her mom got married, moved up with her husband, and we took over the property. So the property's paid off. The house is paid off. The property's paid off. We only pay our mom rent.
Yeah.
Which saves us a lot. And bills. Bills are kind of cheap though.
Yeah.
Which is, I think our total is like $1,600 with bills and rent.
Oh yeah, it's different out here.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm surprised you haven't moved out to Texas yet.
Considering it for sure.
Well, we've been telling you forever to go buy property.
I know. Yeah, it's especially like, what was it, a couple of years ago when I was out there for our forum or giant event that we have.
Yeah, we told you to go buy property.
Yeah. They have there's 6 or 7 new skyscrapers being built in downtown Austin right now.
Yeah, it's rough. I think some of my coworkers, one of them lives directly downtown and says they pay like $3,000 a month.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like it's like $2,500 to $3,000 a month.
So you're seeing rents kind of like boom because of all of the development and everything down there.
And it's rough.
Dang.
It's rough.
Yeah.
And all that, you know how it is. You probably saw how much construction they were doing on the highways, right? So it makes it even worse that they've been doing construction for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
They just finished the Waco construction. going through Waco on 35.
Yeah.
They had just finished doing that construction like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have good old Highway 1 over in Santa Cruz.
Oh, I remember.
They literally expanded it 3 lanes. And then once it got up to SoCal, it went down to 2.
Right.
And it just bottlenecked. And they did that 3 or 4 times. And then someone got the idea, hey, maybe we should just make it 3 lanes all the way down. And then they did it. And now it's like 3 lanes all the way down.
But you guys still have an HOV lane.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Just make it the fast lane.
I know.
Everybody knows that.
I know.
Only go on that lane if you can afford a ticket.
Yeah. It's like the HOV lane. And then it goes to like the fast track. And it bounces like back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's dumb because here's my thing. They have little stickers for like the electric vehicles that you put on that you would see. I'm just like, they look kind of lame. I'm like, I don't understand why they don't put something like on the license plate itself or something that's like, oh, this is an indicator that when the camera scans it, you know, instead of seeing these ugly stickers on your car. That's the reason why I haven't got them. They're like, they're hideous.
Well, how else are they going to get their tax to fix the roads when they started, you know, banning all of the...
Yeah. And now they're talking about charge for the electric
taxing
vehicles.
For the electric vehicles.
Yeah.
And that's stupid.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Hey, we used to live here, right?
So that's right. You did live here. How long? And then when did you move out?
So I was born in Laguna Niguel. My parents split when I was like 4. My dad lived in Riverside and my mom and I lived up in Laguna Niguel. I went to an old elementary school called Foxborough.
Yeah.
And then I think I moved the summer before my 6th grade year. So that was probably like 2004. I think 2004 or 5 is when we moved out to Cedar Park.
Mm-hmm.
I started 6th grade and then stayed there obviously for a while until I joined the Marine Corps and went out to North Carolina.
That's right. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Probably your first vet on the show.
I had Dad, but we were talking about his musical theater ventures and, you know, kind of like briefly touched.
But yeah, no, I was here I've probably been in Texas for 17 years now?
Yeah.
Because I'm 31. So, but I don't count the time in North Carolina. So it's probably like 15.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I've been out there ever since. I don't think I'll go anywhere. I think the only place
Texas is home.
Yeah, I think the only place that my wife and I have mentioned that we'll go live in is Montana.
Montana? Have you been up there?
It's nice.
It's gorgeous.
It's cold though.
It is. During 2020 when I was down in LA and COVID just like shut down everything. Right. The ex and I went on a little road trip to drive up through Utah and then all the way up to, you know, for the 4th of July.
Right.
Big sky country is no joke.
No.
It is literally big sky country. You don't understand it until you are driving there and you're just like, whoa.
There's nothing there.
It's all farmland.
It's all farmland. But I think for like my wife, so my wife is a welding teacher, right? But a
welding teacher?
Mm-hmm. She teaches welding in high school. But so her main thing is agriculture. So she's the ag mechanics teacher.
Okay.
But she got her degree in ag mech. She's been teaching welding for almost 10 years now.
Oh.
So she understands the livestock business, the horse, you know, the equine business, right? Mm-hmm. So she's the main source of, you know, what we do for the cattle and goats and horses and chickens, right? And all of the farm animals.
You have farm animals on your property?
We have horses and chickens. They got rid of the goats because the goats,
they're mean.
They'll take your knees out.
Really?
Yeah, she dislocated her knee. Her kneecap went all the way around her knee because a goat hit it.
What?
Yeah.
What? So I always wanted like one of those little pygmy goats that you see in the goat yoga stuff. They're like,
yeah, they're fun until you have to take care of them, and they crap in your house like 4 times a day. They're cute until they get big.
That's crazy, dude. Literally wow. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So no goats. So we have like so what did you like go riding on the?
She does. Yeah. But she's pregnant, obviously. Yeah. So
you about to be a dad.
Yeah,
dude.
You're right. I know, it's crazy.
Do you guys know the sex yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're at like 8 weeks left.
Oh,
the girl's July 4th.
Oh, July 4th? Yeah, dude. I think that's the most American thing.
My freedom baby, man. My freedom baby.
Yeah. Can you imagine she's just going to be growing up and like fireworks are just to be consistently going off on her birthday? Like,
right. Her name's Hazel Grace.
Pretty.
Yeah, she wanted to go old school.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad. I like it. But yeah, so we have a riding ring out there that she works with. She hasn't done it in a while just because, I don't know if you've heard about the new generation. They kind of suck at school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The horror stories I hear of teaching, I would never be a teacher.
Yeah.
So she just, we come home and I cook dinner and we just veg out. I work until 5, right? So the moment she comes home, it's like 5:30 and we'll cook dinner and, we'll just hang out for the night. But you also have to be careful about during the summertime because it gets hot.
Yeah.
You've obviously been out there. So working the horses in 100-degree weather isn't.
Yeah. So how many animals in total?
So we have like 7 chickens. We have 2 horses. Her sister and brother-in-law live on the property as well. They have 3 cats, 2 dogs. We have 2 dogs and 2 cats. So there's a good mix. And we also have barn cats. So
cool.
We don't have any problems.
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine so. When we were out in Greece with the family a couple of years ago, there was a huge, I guess, like way back in like the day, like there was a huge rat problem in Greece. Like I think like ancient times. I have to double check. But
Black Plague.
Yeah, yes. And they and they just like brought a bunch of cats into like all of Greece. And so literally there's like 3 or 4, 5, 6, whatever generations of cats that the Greek government's literally like, oh yeah, do you want a cat? Please take them.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
And you can take them out. So Blair was like, oh my gosh, I want this one. I want this one. I want this
Did you post about that? Because I could have sworn I saw you guys' trip to Greece.
Yeah. We did. There was a dog too. And the dog was like, it was a pretty dog, but it's, a street dog. And Blair's like, I want to pet it. And all the locals are like, no.
Well, like our barn cats, like they're pretty friendly. I mean, one of them, he gets so like adventurous as to like, I've like let the dogs out and left the door open because I'm coming right back in. And like he makes it almost all the way inside to the house, into the living room. I'm like, man, you can't come in here. Like this isn't as much as you'd be a cool like home cat. Like he can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's good. So that's kind of like for us, like we want property. We want at least 25 because that'll give us enough space to get cattle as well. And then horses and, do whatever. But so we'll raise cattle. That's what we really want to do.
So are you like, how are you like learning how to do all of this like stuff?
On the fly, man.
Or just like literally on the fly?
Yeah, as we do,
YouTube
we go out
tutorials,
there.
like.
Yeah, well, like I learned how to I learned how to ride the tractor like on the fly.
There you go.
Like I just got out there and they're like, all right, I need to do this. I was like, I asked my mother-in-law, I was like, hey, can you show me how to do this real quick? And she's like, sure, here you go. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to go out and work on the back property. So, yeah, I kind of just learn on the fly.
Yeah.
She deals with all of the stuff, like the upkeep of the horses and all that stuff. I just help lift things for now.
So for like cattle, you like beef? Or are you talking like milk or like a hybrid or like?
Probably beef. For sure. Beef.
Yeah.
We don't want to mess with the dairy farm. That's too much work.
Yeah.
But the beef is good.
Yeah.
Because you just raise the cattle and then you get beef and then you can sell it off or you can, I mean, dude, that's probably the leanest kind of form of beef you'll get.
Yeah.
Right? You just take it to the slaughterhouse and that's it.
What's that barbecue joint that Derek, every time I go there, he takes me to it. It's like Black Bart's or something.
Terry Black's.
Terry Black's
is good.
Dude, that like, if y'all haven't had Texas barbecue before, there's none other like it.
Yeah, it's because we don't drench it in barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
It's just a dry
Well, it's
rub.
just like when you bite into it, it literally like liquefies in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's the best stuff.
Speaking of good meat.
Yes.
Did you ever hear of the baseball player Nolan Ryan?
No.
So he owns his own cattle farm and you can go look it up. He has his own
Out there by you?
Yeah. Well, no, not out there by where we live, but he just has a cattle farm out in Texas. He opened his own butcher shop.
Oh, wow.
And they closed their only store down and you can buy all of their meat on his butcher shop website called Goodstock.
Ooh.
Some of the best brisket I've ever had.
Dang.
But that's because he sources it, right? Nolan Ryan's one of the famous Texas Rangers pitchers. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good barbecue. I enjoy it. I don't like smothering my barbecue in barbecue sauce.
It's like, that's what I love about Texas barbecues, because they do it right.
Yeah, if you have to put barbecue sauce on it, that means your barbecue's bad.
Means your barbecue's bad. That's exactly it.
Means your meat's bad.
That's exactly it. And at first, when I first, heard that, I was like, oh, I don't know, man. They make some good sauces. But then we went to Terry Black's and tried that for the first time. And then I understood what you were talking about.
It means your meat's bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like I do like barbecue sauce. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Their barbecue sauce is pretty good.
Yeah.
But their sweet one on top of their mac and cheese.
I want to talk to you about your service.
Sure.
So tell everyone from the beginning what
prompted me to go in the Marine Corps? Oh God, dude. I had a terrible day at college. I failed a history test and my teacher failed me on my English exam. And I was leaving to go to my car because I was at a community college just to go get the experience first. And the recruiter called me and was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Is this Cole Salazar?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, this is Sergeant so and so. Have you ever thought about joining the Marine Corps?" I was like, "Not until now." I was like, "Not until now." He's like, "Well, why don't you come to the office and talk to me about it?" I was like, "All right, sure, why not?" I was like, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
but that's the pitch they give you, right? Come talk to me, sure. And 10 minutes later in his office, I was already telling Mom, "Hey, I'm joining the Marine Corps. I'm going to ship out in like a month and a half." So,
wow, that quickly.
Yeah. Well, cause I signed the paperwork and then did my ASVAB, the aptitude, but it's essentially your entry exam, right? Just to gauge what your knowledge level is about a bunch of different things like mechanics or math or science, a bunch of different stuff so they can classify you into an MOS. Or your job, right?
MOS. Sorry, civilian talk.
it's just your job that you do in the Marine Corps, in the military, right? Every branch calls it their MOS. I don't know the layman's.
So you take this test and then they determine where.
Yeah, based on your scores, right? There's a bunch of different scores, and it kind of ranks you and says, "Hey, this is based on your score, and in this area you'd be really good as a mechanic, or in this area you'd be good as an infantry guy, or." Cybersecurity or whatever, right? It ranks you into a specific area.
So where did you end up going after that test?
I went into communications. So I signed up as an 06XX, meaning that they could put me into radio or they could put me into data. So doing like the data center stuff, or wire, which was the guys running wire. And after boot camp was over, they assigned me to a field radio operator, so an 0620. So then after that, you go to you go to boot camp.
Yeah, what's boot camp like? You see the movies and everything like
mental.
That. It's all mental stuff.
It's physically hard if you're not prepared.
Yeah, are you doing like the rope ladder climb over thing? Like the
obstacle course. Yeah, the obstacle course is cool, but I could never climb a rope.
You're like in the bunk beds. It goes off in the morning. Is it exactly like that? Like you see in the movie?
Dude, the drill instructors scream. They scream this thing called everyone's on. There's somebody on watch every hour, right? Mm-hmm. So when it comes time to wake up at 5 a.m, right? The drill instructors come out of their hooch and they scream lights, 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 and they turn the lights on and they're like yelling at everybody to get on the line, which is just this imaginary line in front of your bunk. And then they get everybody up and you do a count off, and man, you'd be surprised how many people can't count. Because you get down to like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then someone will be like 9, and they're like, "All right, no, start over."
Like in a row, like it's just a row of everyone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone's lined up in a row. So it's like kind of like us, right? There'd be a line here and a line here.
Yeah.
And you'd count down all the way and come around, and then the last person would say 30 or however many were in your platoon. And then you would get dressed or go into the showers or brush your teeth or whatever, right? And then they'd count down again. And sometimes you'd be getting smoked on the quarterdeck or the big deck that they have in the barracks. And you'd be getting intensive training where the drill instructors be yelling at you. You've probably seen it, right? Where they're telling you like push ups and sit ups and get up and up. Yeah. So boot camp was great in that it breaks you down to like we're all as equally as dirt bags, right? We're all the same people.
Yeah.
You come from nothing essentially, and they bring you up into be the Marine, right? And so you go through 3 different phases, and then the culminating event's the Crucible, where on the West Coast we hike the Reaper,
Reaper.
Yeah, it's the all the hills that are out Pendleton. Down there, down by LA and stuff like that, right? You hike all those hills, and there's a big giant hill at the end.
So, are you in California at this point when you're doing boot camp?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, okay. So it depends on where you are. If you're east of the Mississippi, you go to Parris Island, the original Marine Corps boot camp.
Yeah.
And if you're west of the Mississippi, you go to MCRD San Diego, which they call us Hollywood. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that Reaper is like the last like push, right? You get in the platoon, you group up in your platoon and you run up the hill. You're hiking up a hill the entire time.
How is this hike? Can like anybody do it? Or is it like,
it's on the base? It's on the base.
It's on the base.
Yeah.
And like, how long is this like hike? Are you sprinting up it?
You start the last day of the Crucible. You start at like 3 a.m. and you hike 13 miles.
Wow.
The last like mile is running up the hill.
And then are you carrying like?
Oh yeah. You've got a rucksack that weighs 75 pounds plus your weapon and your flak jacket that's on.
Wow.
Yeah. And you have to run up a hill at the last mile. And then you get your Eagle Globe and Anchor at the top and you sing the Marine Corps hymn and then you go down and you have your Warriors Feast, which is they give you the best breakfast you've had in boot camp, because boot camp is they don't starve you, I would say, but they definitely they choose what you eat. And they say, hey, this ice cream and all this fattening stuff is here. We don't suggest you eat it, but we're not saying you don't.
Yeah. So how long does boot camp last for?
3 months.
It's 3 months?
It's different. Every branch is different. The Marine Corps is the longest at 3 months. I think the Army's 2 months. I think the Air Force is like a month and a half, 2 months.
Are they teaching you too how to like fire weapons and stuff like that?
That's phase 2.
And then that's phase 2. And then when they talk about like weapons, like what are they training you to fire? Like sidearms, M16s?
No, just the M16.
Just the M16. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just like basic stock? Are they putting like scopes on it? And
well, so it used to be I think the platoon before me was, I think a couple of platoons before me was iron sights. They had recently, when I got in, had just gone to the ACOG scopes. They had just recently gone to the ACOG. And then now it's the same, but obviously they're trying to transition new weapons. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
I think there's a new Sig Sauer AR that they're trying to bring out. Because the M27 IAR already replaced the M249 for the infantry units. It's a new piston-driven system rather than a spring-loaded system. It's much better. Think of the Heckler & Koch 416. It's essentially that. Okay. So yeah, boot camp's 3 months. Then you go. It's called the MCT, Submarine Combat Training. And if you do 1 month at Marine Combat Training where they teach you the basics of radio. They teach you the basics of hiking. This is where you go into 3 and 4, stage 3 and 4 for the range, where you learn tactical drills. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. First two are like long range distance shooting, and then 3 and 4 are your tactical shootings. Do you guys
ever like you do like paintball? You're like actually like in combat type situations, like going up against people?
They do. They're called Sesame rounds.
Yeah.
And they're an actual bullet casing that just has a little paint cartridge on the end of it. I mean, it's very small. It's not even the size of my thumb.
Yeah.
They hurt though.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's like firing a blank essentially, right?
Yeah.
They get very jammed though. They're awful. They're terrible. But you don't do that in MCT because all of the stuff that we did in MCT in terms of live fire was with live ammunition. So safety was a lot of importance. And then after those 30 days, if you're not an O3, so an infantry, if you're not a grunt or an infantry guy, you go to your schoolhouse. If you are an O3, then you go to ITB, which is Infantry Training Battalion. You stay in the same spot and you just go through 2 months, based on whatever your MLS is.
So you get out of boot camp and like, where are you stationed?
So boot camp is done. Then you go to Pendleton. And then after Pendleton, you go wherever your schoolhouse is. My schoolhouse happened to be up here in 29 Palms, right outside, just north of Palm Springs.
Okay.
Up in the desert.
Yeah.
And that's where I spent, I think, 6 months learning about radio. And then my buddy and I got stationed over in Camp Lejeune, and that's where I spent the remainder of it.
So were you on like in the reserves or what? You stayed stateside?
I was actively
You were active, but you stayed stateside?
No, I deployed on the 26 MEU in 2015. You went
over?
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't go to combat.
Yeah.
But I went and deployed. My battalion so how artillery works, because I was stationed as a radio operator in an artillery unit, how artillery units are called, they're called batteries rather than battalions. And so my unit had a howitzer platoon and 2 mortar platoons. My mortar platoon was on one ship, and the howitzer platoon in the second, and the other platoon, the other mortar platoon was on the ship called Arlington. And so the howitzer platoon went out to Iraq to provide fire support for the Iraqis when ISIS completely held Mosul, Mosul, however you say it.
Yeah.
They were at a fire base called the Firebase Bell. They were there for like 3 or 4 months, and then they came home after we did. We came home probably like April 2016. I turned 21 on deployment.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was that birthday like?
I think we were in Dubai.
So you could. Did they allow you to drink?
Yes. Well, okay. We didn't actually go in the city. We were just at the port where the USO was. So we got to drink there.
Yeah.
But when you went out in town, no.
Yeah.
Also got to go to Oman. So we stopped and first went to we went to Rota, Spain, went through the Strait of Gibraltar, went over to Bahrain and like Oman, went through the Strait of Hormuz, went to Kuwait, and then we came back around, went back to Bahrain again, and then went to like Portugal, and we got to go a bunch of there. We got to go party and stuff like that.
How when you were on the ship and you went to these different cities, how long were your stays at each of?
It really depended. Like Rota, we were only supposed to be in Spain for like a couple hours, but somebody in the Navy, when they were throwing out, or I guess maybe one of the dock workers, I'm too sure, I don't. Somebody threw out the chain to tie the boat up to the dock and wrapped it somehow around the propeller ship.
Wow.
So we had to stay an extra like 2 days while they flew specialists of undersea welders from the US to come weld off the chain. So we were there for a couple of days, but for the most part, it's like 3 or 4 days. It really just depended on what the mission called.
Were there any, like, and I don't know what you can and can't tell me, but like, were there any moments where it got pretty close to you, like having to like go in?
Well, when the first platoon, the howitzer platoon, when in Iraq, they took a 120 millimeter rocket strike from ISIS, and it hit one of the guns, and it ended up killing Staff Sergeant Carden, who was one of the section chiefs of the gun, and it wounded like 7 or 8 others. There was a chance there, but for my boat, no, unfortunately not. We all wanted to, and I would say there's a little bit of survivor's guilt there. Sometimes I kind of wonder what happens if we had, like, everybody had went out there, right? The why me?
Yeah.
It's rough, right? He died March 16th. of 2016, or March 16. It's rough, right? Because you question why weren't you out there? Why isn't it me? Right? When it's your platoon, it's your friends, it's your buddies, and you see it across the military now, or the veteran community now, right? PTSD is awful. Not saying I haven't, but it's definitely a bad cause that people don't take notice to, I guess.
Yeah, I have a friend who served over there and was in active combat, and he was one of my screenwriting buddies, like down in LA, and he had a moment like right on the couch, just kind of like zoned off into some kind of space and started kind of like hyperventilating. And I just, I was there to
you remembered he was back. Something triggered him.
And I was able to kind of like get him out of that, but it took him it was like a 5, 6, 7 minute period of him kind of like going up to this climax and then, coming back out of it.
We just need to take care of our friends.
Yeah.
Let them know we're there.
Yeah.
But it was, it wasn't all somber moments, right? Like we were all, I still get teary eyed whenever I, Memorial Day and stuff like that comes around and I see him, but it was a good deployment. Like we got to go do a lot of things. I wish I could have. Now, some people might think that that's crazy, and you'd say once you get out there, thanks, but that's why we have to.
Did you have any family members that served?
My grandfather served in Korea.
Was he a Marine?
No, he was Army.
Army?
But other than like immediate family, no, just my grandfather.
Do you have any like journals or anything from him, from his time when he was like out there?
Maybe. Do you remember I told you he passed away last year?
No, sorry.
I came out to California for a little while because he had a stroke like 4 or 5 years ago, and he just recently passed. But it's okay, man. He's better. He just had really bad Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever asked my grandma if there is anything he has.
Yeah, I found. So my grandmother just passed away recently, and we're starting to kind of go through their house and everything. And my grandfather served in Korea. He was in the Navy, and he was on a fuel, a boat that refueled all the big battleships and stuff like that, and all the carriers and everything. And I like opened up his side, drawer next to his bed, and there's this journal, and it literally like opened it up, and it was cool because he wrote in there. He's like, "This is to Blake and Blair.
Right.
This is my time, like on the, I think it was the USS Abenaki or something like that." And he was like, it's funny, like reading through this stuff. He's like, literally, get me off this shit.
Yeah, bro, ship life is not fun, man. The bunks are like the side of the space of this table almost.
Yeah.
And then you got to put a bed underneath it.
Yeah.
Like it's not great.
Yeah. He was going up from Alaska to Hawaii to San Diego and all along the coast.
Right. And back then the bunks and all of that weren't the same that we have now. Right? Like they used to sleep on cots or hammocks.
Yeah.
They were not comfortable cots.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Yeah.
It's tight. It's, hot. There's not a lot to do on a ship. It's either you stare at your phone, which you don't have any signal. There's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you stare at a book, stare at things that you've downloaded on your phone, or you go outside and stare at the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he, unfortunately, back then, they when they would clean the ships, they would use benzoate peroxide or whatever, which is like it's a preservative in the soda cans and like all of this stuff now. And they didn't know it, but that stuff causes leukemia. My grandfather ended up dying from that. He went to the head of Stanford, and they're like, he's like, what'd you do, Bob? He's like, I was in Korea. He's like, were you on the ships? Yeah. Drinking the benzoate. Yeah, because they would get drunk and high off this stuff, and that's what they did on ships. And he's like, that's the reason why you have it. It's because of that. He's like, well,
Yeah.
So, but so it's kind of cool, like finding little things.
It is. I've found some things. I found pictures and stuff like that, but I'm hoping that when like my mom gets to go through all of that eventually, maybe there's stuff there.
Yeah,
we'll see what.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, let me ask you this. Do you think there is some correlation with like, playing like video games and then people like, with the point and shoot kind of stuff? Do you think like playing those games makes you a better marksman?
No.
No?
God, no.
No?
No.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, do you think if you went to a gun range
we were pretty good back in the day.
We were. But do you really think that you're like... Controllers are a little bit different than pulling a trigger on a gun, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think so. I think that the kids today so when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
Because you're what, 35?
33.
30. Oh, you're only 2 years older than me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'll be 34 in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we were younger, right? When we were in our teens, we were like, oh, cool. Army, we get to go play Army. And, my best friend Nate and I used to go jump off his trampoline with like sheets thinking we were paratroopers playing airsoft in the woods, right? Like, but nowhere did I think that playing video games equated to, is it going to make me a better marksman?
Yeah.
I shot what they called a pizza box. So I was a marksman. Like I literally shot like the worst you could do. But I'm a better shot now.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know, man. Games just don't. Not that I don't enjoy games anymore, but I feel like the reason we all played was to play with each other. And all of us are getting older, and it's kind of like, I don't got time for this.
We don't have time for it.
And now I'm going to be a dad, and it's like, I don't have time for it.
Yeah. You won't. But there will be that day, maybe dust off the old Xbox and say, all right.
You know I don't play Xbox. I have a computer.
You plug in the Halo and show them or whatever.
Hey man, you can go play the Master Chief Edition.
That's true. I do. I think I have that on my PC.
Although I haven't. The only thing that I've been playing is Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike 2. I don't know if you saw. Have you been playing Oblivion Remastered?
Mm-mm.
It's good.
Is it good?
It's good.
Yeah, I've seen people on like TikTok playing it, whatnot.
TikTok.
I know. I feel like just weird. I feel like we lived in like such like the golden generation of like the video games.
Modern
like
Warfare 2.
Dude, even like going further back, like Mario Kart, dude, that was a lot of fun.
Well, did you see that Nintendo's bringing back the N64?
I did.
They're bringing a 4K version back.
Yes, and I really want to get it because I wanted to see what.
Dude,
James Bond
Mario,
GoldenEye, dude.
That's what I said.
Kart,
I pinged that in my new Teams chat. I was like, and because we use Slack at work.
Yeah.
And I pinged my team in Slack. I'm like, hey man, like, who wants to get meshed up in some Mario Kart or some GoldenEye?
Are they gonna have online play?
I hope so. That'd be cool.
Dude, that'd be sick.
But the nostalgia of
same controllers. Are they gonna bring back the?
I would hope so. I think so. But my thing is it's nostalgia, right? I don't want to play online. I want to go LAN party it up with my friends.
I know, dude. Those are fun.
Putting boxes on the TV so people didn't screen cheat.
Yeah. I was notorious at that. Notorious at that.
I don't know. I think that games have come a long way.
Yeah.
But I think that we saw this from Oblivion remastered. No one cares.
Mm-hmm.
I want my nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like I want Bethesda to remaster Fallout 3.
Yeah.
I want them to remaster Skyrim.
Well, they're doing, speaking of remastering, they're doing Gears of War.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. They're calling it Gears of War Reloaded.
That'd be great.
I love that game.
I love that game. That was a fun game.
Same with
God of War was good.
God of War was good too. I was a big Assassin's Creed guy.
Right.
I love that. That was a fun one. Did you ever play Splinter Cell?
I liked Splinter Cell.
That was a good one too.
Crash Bandicoot was another fun one.
Yes.
But I still remember, what was it? You, Derek, and our buddy Will.
Shout out Will. What's up, dude? I think I see him on Instagram from time to time.
You do. Yeah, you probably do. Yeah. Playing, what was it? What was that map in Call of Duty that we all just sat in that one room?
Oh gosh.
Was it
the zombies one on Alcatraz?
No, it was like
Nuketown.
It was the Middle Eastern like desert map. Remember where we all had that one room?
Did it have the windmills and the airplanes? Was that it?
No.
Like big crash site, you know what I'm talking about? That map?
I'd have to remember it. I'd have to remember the name of it. But there was a room that we all just sat in because there was like 3 windows and a door that we all just peeked out and stayed there, man.
Yeah.
We had some good times playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Prop hunt.
Dude, I know. Derek and I will sometimes hop on that from time to time.
Yeah.
they tried doing a new one with this what is it, Black Ops 6 that came out.
Yeah.
And it didn't hit the mark.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But I still enjoy I enjoy Gary's mod prop hunt. That's another fun one. But that's on computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like OG prop hunt, like Gary's mod. There's a lot of games that I enjoy. Like I enjoy, as much as I hate to say it, I've been playing it for 13 years. But League of Legends is one that I play a lot. Counter-Strike is a big one. I like Counter-Strike a lot.
You ever play like Rocket League?
No, because I never had a controller. I don't have an Xbox controller. I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. It's awful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've tried it. It's not great. No, it's not good.
Yeah.
Fallout was a big one. Like Bethesda made really good games. Battlefield was another big one that I liked playing a lot. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of games that I like playing, but I enjoy playing with friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends are growing up, and like Derek and I stopped playing WoW. I don't know if he still plays. I stopped playing because just too much time.
Yeah. No, I remember Derek was like, yo, come play World of Warcraft at one point. And I was just like, I'm already invested in Halo, my guy. And I know the amount of time that I would have to put in for a while. I mean, dude, there was a lot of stuff for WoW. I mean, it's a very great game. It was a very great game. And it was just like always cool. Like, I'd always watch you guys because I'm like, in order to get to that level to be as good as like, you guys were. And same thing with like Halo. It's just like, you have to put in. So that's why I stuck with like one game. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'd rather be good at like one, you know, than like kind of spread.
That's why I liked playing Battlefield a lot.
Yeah. Battlefield was cool too. I liked how you were able to like blow up buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah. The destructibility was good. And then 2042 came out and it just absolutely shat.
Dude, you know what's pretty? So Blair's fiance's kids, Jason Bear, they just got a PlayStation and
PlayStation 1?
PS5.
Oh, okay.
And they're what's the game? The new game it's the Battle Royale game. It's the big one. Spacing out on
Fortnite?
It. Yes, Fortnite. They have it and they were playing it. And I'm like watching them. They're like, Blake, you want to play? And I was like, sure, I'll like try it. And so I get the control. Dude, there's a lot to that game.
Yeah.
It's like, I've seen like the Warzone Call of Duty stuff where you're going and looting and doing all of that. And I've watched like Ninja and a couple people on Twitch, like streaming and like see how they do it. But I mean, there's a whole strategy to things. Like here's Bear. He's like 6 years old and he's like has this whole strategy figured out. I was like, come in to these little caves, like follow me. I'm like, how do you even know that this is there? And then there's like 12 of these golden loot box things with these legendary guns. And it's just like, I'm like, what the heck? Have you played it?
I did. I'm not a fan of it. I like Apex.
Yeah.
Apex Legends.
That was the other one. That kind of had like that same concept. I almost wondered too if Halo would have ever had a battle royale.
I thought they had talked about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think. See, like that's my problem. Nostalgia of Halo, right? Like don't go follow what everyone else is doing, because there were so many copies. Once when PUBG came out, right? When Player Battlegrounds Unknown came out, right? That was the cool thing for a while. Like I put 700 hours or 600 hours in that game.
Yeah.
And then it got really bad. And then like all of these other companies just started making like knockoffs. And the ones that have stuck were PUBG, Fortnite, Call of Duty, and then Apex.
Yeah.
Everyone else just died off. So it's like, I feel like, because like Battlefield did it.
I did not know that.
And it died.
Oh, wow.
Died real quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Halo did it, it would die off.
I think you could create it. I think they had a thing in Infinite where you could create it. I think I played
through
custom games for it. I think I played it once. And it's like, it was cool. But yeah, to your point, like, I think the reason why Halo was such a great game is because it was one of those, like, the reason why I bought an Xbox was because of that game. Because I would go over to my buddy Jasper's house. What up, dude? And like literally, do the whole LAN party.
Jasper.
Yeah, dude, all the LAN party, system link type stuff. I think, that was it back in the day, playing on Blood Gulch and like, and it was
you remember
crazy
making zombies?
Yeah.
Where you had one person was infected.
Yeah.
And he had like 300 movement speed and he could jump super high. And you had to kill him with like an energy sword or a shotgun or whatever. Yeah, that was the fun.
Those were fun.
I miss the good old days of.
I know, man. I know. We had it was a lot of.
And now we're old.
I know.
Yeah. I'm still can't believe that, I'm going to be a dad come July.
Do you have like do you prep like the baby room?
It's all prep.
You got it all prepped?
We're buying everything now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie she's a trooper right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. I guess everybody else's pregnancy is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for like her, she's like been sick all the time with morning sickness for the first trimester. And now it's just getting to the point where her back hurts. And now she's dealing with kids at high school and it's not any better. And it's like, I'm glad.
Yeah. Yeah.
My job is done.
Yeah. No, it's, we just kind of had Mother's Day. Thanks to all the moms out there, you know.
Did you do anything?
We went to this little restaurant in downtown Santa Cruz. It's new. It's called Chocolate. And I guess it's made after a Johnny Depp movie.
Interesting.
And it's kind of interesting.
Willy Wonka?
Well, no, not in that sense. More like you walk in and it's a very like gothic kind of bar. It's like
weird.
It was weird, but the food was good. I mean, the food was good and their dessert was all chocolate. Hence the name. You know
chocolate,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't spell it with an E at the end. They just ended it without the E.
Late?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I'm not hating on it at all. It's just like a different vibe. I was just kind of walking. I was like, oh, okay, you know. Yeah. But it was good. It was like right there next to like Burf Coffee in downtown. So how are you liking it back here? So you're here for a full week. Do you have any plans? You're gonna go to like Great America one last time? Here they're closing that down.
They're closing Great America.
Dude.
Wow.
Too much gang activity.
Oh, I'm not surprised about that though.
Yeah.
No. So so what's gonna happen is tomorrow I check in at tomorrow I have to check in at lunch. I'll go to the headquarters office out over in Palo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have training until 5. And then Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be at the office from 8 to 5. And then Thursday, my parents and my godparents coming down just to see me while I'm here in California. Because my godparents live out in Brentwood, just outside of San Francisco. So they're only about an hour. And so we'll see them. I'll have dinner with them, and then they'll take me to the airport on Friday at 1.
That's cool.
Flight leaves at
flying out of San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool that you and Derek get to come out here for work. So is this going to be like an annual thing for you now? Is coming out here?
No, this is just for training, new hire training.
Gotcha.
As an engineer, I'm getting to go and more technical about the platform and stuff like that. I don't think, from what I've learned, is that there's not a lot of travel unless you go to conventions, and they kind of split that up. But I think the bigger one is sales kickoff. They just did a sales kickoff in Vegas this year. So that will be interesting next year to see sales kickoff in Vegas.
Yeah. Man.
If it's there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm not too upset about it. If we do travel a lot, that's fine. I don't mind travel. It kind of sucks that they have their own travel agency platform that we have to go buy our tickets from. It'd be nice to get all the points on my credit card.
Yeah.
And then just get reimbursed for it.
Yeah. That would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. It's a fun job.
That's what's up, dude. Oh, I'm happy for you.
I know, dude. Seeing you're killing it out here, dude.
Yeah, you know.
You score anything big yet?
I got a couple things in the works that I can't talk about on camera. I'll tell you
there
off.
You go. I got you.
But there's a couple things in the work that it's a really exciting time.
Good.
Yeah, really, really exciting.
I know
time.
you've been through the ringer, man, with everything that happened with your movie and getting screwed over on that one.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody. I don't know, man. I'm happy for you. You seem to be in a good spot.
Yeah.
Now we just need to get you somebody. You're still the third wheel here. You know what I mean?
I know. There's my cousin's getting married here, and he said that there's a couple gals that are single that are bridesmaids, and he's like, yeah, I'll introduce you to them. I'm like, oh, okay,
Right.
But I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush for things. It'll happen when it happens. You know what
You're right.
I'm just posting.
I mean, bro, your clock is ticking here. You're already 33.
I
Kids
know.
are
I know.
Kids past a certain age is rough.
I know. But hey, look, George Clooney was like 50, 60 something, and he got married in that kid, So, hey, man, if George can do it.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
That's what's up, bro. Well, cool.
It's good seeing you, brother.
Good seeing you too, man. I know it's been too long.
It has. I know. We need to make trips more, and
yeah, next time I'm out there, I want to come meet the missus, and
you'll have to come meet the missus. You'll have to meet,
by that time,
hopefully, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Baby Hazel. So hopefully you'll meet her. Yeah, man. We're gonna try and come out here more too, just because my mom is still out here, and my grandma just turned 94 last week.
Oh wow.
So she's doing really well, but mom doesn't know what the future holds, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't know if she wants to stay here. She's thinking about moving to Idlewild. Up there in the mountains out here in California, or move to Texas to be closer to the grandkid.
That'd be fun. Then you and the missus could go out on date night, and mom can watch the.
Yeah, well, because her mom lives up in Abilene, so it's a little far. We've got the only family we have is her dad's side, and then her sister and brother-in-law live on the same property as us. So it's good, dude. It's good. New adventures, right? My job is. I'm like doubled my salary.
There you go.
So
moving on up. Dude.
I know.
Moving on up.
And she gets paid a lot for a welder.
Yeah. That's really cool that she do you know what got her into that? I find that super cool. Her dad.
So her family's been drag boat racing for a long time.
Is that what you were showing me?
Yeah.
Okay. That was wild. That soccer.
Yeah. So that was called a Top Fuel Hydro. And the Top Fuel dragsters?
No, I'm completely ignorant when it comes to what we're talking about right now, but I'm on board for the ride.
So drag racing, right?
Yeah.
They took a Top Fuel dragster, which is the highest class of car for drag racing, and they took that engine and put it in a boat. So it's about 10,000 horsepower.
Wow.
And it goes, I think the fastest that I saw the boat Liquid Voodoo go was 2:42. And he did I think it was 800 feet in 3.5 seconds or less.
Wow.
Or 3.3, something like that. I have it on my phone.
Is it one propeller or two in the back?
It's one prop, but the engine's massive.
Yeah.
It puts out 10,000 horsepower. So when there's two of them on the water, it's 11,000 horsepower.
That's great.
Or no, 20,000 horsepower.
I mean, how do you factor, I think it's cool, but how do you factor in the wind and the caps on the waves?
You're going so fast. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're booking it like that, because there was that video that I was talking about where those dudes are trying to break some record or something like that. And the thing caught air and they were flipping the air for 5 seconds.
Those are a little bit different than the drag boats because they're actually doing a course rather than just going down a straight line.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fuel boats can't go very on choppy water. It has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Near perfect. And the wind can't be bad at all.
So do you have to get special permits?
Yeah, there's capsule permits that you have to get tested. You have to do dunk tests and stuff like that.
Dunk tests?
Where they put you in a mock capsule and you have a helmet on, you have a rebreather and you have to get out and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go check out Southern Drag Boat Association.
Dude, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. We won't be going just because Jackie's pregnant, but they've been doing it all their life. It's a wild time, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
those boats
they get up to 200 something miles an hour?
Oh, well over that.
Over that?
I think the record's 272.
That's crazy.
At a 3.2 ET for 1,000 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then are there certain lakes that allow
they're all
this?
over. Mm-hmm.
Or are there some lakes? I mean, I'm assuming so that there's some lakes that are no, you cannot do that on here.
Some are. It depends on if they're environmentally friendly. They used to race on Lake Austin, but because the boats obviously put out fuel and stuff like that, so the fuel boats dump about 8 gallons of nitromethane in one run. And nitromethane's almost I think it's almost $42 a gallon.
Yeah. Wow.
It's crazy.
That's nuts. So question, do you see any of the if they started putting in like Tesla engines into these. You see EV boats?
I doubt you.
Yeah.
I mean, these engines are bigger than most car engines.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting out 10,000 horsepower, so like I hope they're pretty big.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
And they're loud.
Would you ever go on one?
Would I get in a boat? Maybe, depending on what boat it is. So there's a lot of classes.
Yeah.
So they have personal watercraft, which is like jet skis.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have modified eliminator, stock. They have stock eliminator, modified eliminator, top eliminator, and they all just like the speed of the boat, right? I'm not an expert, right? I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then you get into the capsule boats. So they've got like pro outlaws, pro modifieds. They've got top fuel hydros, top alcohol hydros. So the boat runs on alcohol, not like the alcohol drink.
Yeah.
And then they've got pro cock flats, which are like very, very scary boats. Like they're very much like I guess they call them the funny cars of drag. They're cool, man. I mean, you definitely can go out to anyone. There's a couple out here in California. I think Carlsbad Lake is a big one that they go race at, the CBA or the California drag boat, the CDBA. There's also the NJBA, the KDBA, the SDBA. There's a bunch of them.
Does it happen normally during like the summer? That's neat, dude. And so how far from where you live, how far is the closest like venue going or lake you can go in?
Marble Falls, about an hour.
Away.
About an hour and a half.
It's not bad.
And then so they used to race at Marble Falls. Then they would go to a place called Paris, Texas, up at Lake Nasworthy or Lake Crook. Sorry, Lake Crook. San Angelo's Lake Nasworthy. And then we also did Waco. The fuel boats don't run at all the races because sometimes the tracks aren't too long. The fuel boats take too long to slow down, right? So they only go to Marble Falls usually, and then San Angelo.
Now for those boats, so when you say slow down, do they have like a braking system? Or,
I mean, you
let
off the gas and you have a parachute.
A parachute.
Yeah,
okay.
the fuel boats have I think the fuel boats have 4 parachutes.
That's crazy.
And then like the fuel boats have 4 parachutes. I think the alcohol hydros have 3, and then like the pro mods and pro outlaws usually have like 1 or 2.
So does your lady, so she welds the boats for these?
No, she got into welding because her dad has a shop and he used to weld.
Gotcha.
And so he would weld things for his boat.
Gotcha.
And he worked on the boat, and then that's how they got into welding.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, I always find that like super fascinating when I'm like watching like the car shows and they're building custom cars and they're like doing all of that. It's like, yeah, it's a technique, man. You have to be real precise on that stuff.
I mean, any one wrong move and that boat goes whee.
Yeah.
That's how her dad got in an accident and broke like a couple vertebrae in his back because he had an accident. Somebody in the other lane crossed into his and he went up over the wake and like tumbled. It was bad.
So they have multiple lanes with
just two.
Just two?
Just two. It's too dangerous to have anymore.
Yeah. I'm sure the wakes are crazy.
Cool. I mean, you saw the fuel boat. I've got more.
That's crazy.
It's cool, man. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's 4 seconds. It's like 4 seconds of fun, right?
Yeah.
And then it's done. And then you're there for a whole weekend. It's not like NASCAR where you can, see the circuit, or it's not like Formula One, right? It's different racing, but it's fun.
That's cool, dude. Well, Cole, appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you having me on, dude.
Good seeing you, dude.
It's good seeing you, bro.
I know. Cole, thank you, everyone that watches, and make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. It does help us out here at the Red Room Podcast. Yeah, it's been fun, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. Let's go get food.
Yeah, let's go get food. All right, everyone.
All right, thanks.
We're signing off. See you next week. Woo!